Dear friends, let's continue T.S.Eliot's Preludes. Let's look at third prelude. You see, in the first prelude, basically just the speaker of the poem describes a certain street of London in the evening time, and in the second prelude, he describes the morning, but with the morning there is no change there in the street, but instead that routine again is seen. Fragmented human body is seen there. Sometime we see the feet moving rapidly on the sawdust, just on the street covered with the sawdust. Then hands are seen raising the dirty just shades from the actually windows, only to only to show the well furnished rooms, so on and so forth. Now in the third prelude, see, for the first time we find a complete human figure. Let's look at this. You tossed the blanket from the bed, tossed through. You lay upon your back and waited. See, this word becomes very much important in the context of this 20th century poem that was written, I told you, in between 1909 and 1911-12. You dozed and watched the night revealing the thousand sordid images of which your soul was constituted, made of. So see, it is the morning time, you can say that. Morning has arrived, but yet there is not sufficient light in the atmosphere. We can say that maybe it is dawn, it is dusk. Just that transition period, that time that separates the night from the day, when we have no sufficient light in the atmosphere, the sun is not risen, just before the rising of the sun, and after the disappearance of the night, the period that we have is actually called or known as dusk or dawn. So maybe it is dawn or dusk. You, time and again, see, you, very good example of see, you can say anaphora. First line of the third prelude begin with you, second, third, and who is actually this you? As per the handful number of the critics on T.S.Eliot, this you is none other than a low woman, a whore, W-H-O-R-E, whore you can say, whore you might be knowing, a prostitute, a woman in the flesh trade. This woman, when she experiences the morning, when she feels the morning, she throws the blanket away from her own body. Maybe with this hope that she'll feel or she'll see something new with this new with this new day. But what happens? See, this is a whore a prostitute. She tosses, means throws the blanket from the bed. She throws away the blanket from the bed, but she does not get up. She does not sit up. She remains. She remains stretched on the bed. She throws the blanket away from her body and away from the bed, but still lying on her back, and eyes fixed on the ceiling. Why? Because still her eyes are not opened. She is still dozing. She is half in sleep and half awake. Just as it happens when we wake up early in the morning, we take some more time to gather ourselves, to gather our consciousness. In the same manner, this woman, though, she pulls the just blanket from her own body away and away from the bed, but still she is lying and half in sleep and half awake in a semi-consciousness state. Why? Because still those images of the night are being projected, you can say that, or her brain, you can say the brain that has recorded and captured the images of the past evening and the past night is now projecting on her imaginary canvas, on her mental screen. And even those images can be seen just here and there being reflected on the ceiling of the room she is in. See this. You lay upon your back and waited for what? She is waiting for something. What does she wait for? What is she waiting for? Probably she does not know. What is she waiting for? But she is waiting for something. Just as in, I think, Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, the characters in this absurd play waiting for somebody, but who are they waiting for? Probably they don't know. They themselves don't know. Means showing the meaninglessness, showing the absurdity of this modern world, modern life. That what T.S.Eliot here highlights. So here T.S.Eliot's this very particular character, who the first time we see a human figure just appears in the poem in complete just a body form, complete human body form for the first time we see here. And she is none other than a whore, a low woman, a woman of no respect and no value and no importance in society. This woman wakes up, throws the blanket away, still lying in the bed, half eyes half opened, half closed, because she is in a semi-consciousness state. Her brain is projecting those images it recorded or captured in the previous night on her mental screen or on her imaginary canvas. And it seems that she is waiting for somebody. But what she is waiting for? Probably she is waiting for none. This. You dozed, still half in sleep, half waking, dozed, and watched the night, and Watch the night revealing the thousand sordid images, sordid, those unpleasant images. So still, it is not a complete morning. Morning has not arrived till now. So, and watch the night revealing, the thousand sordid images, and she can see how one image that her brain captured after so many other images in the previous evening or the previous night now appearing just like one picture after the so many pictures just appear in front of our own eyes on a theater, just as we see reels running in front of us on the screen of the theater. In the same manner here, one image after so many other images appear, or so many images being projected by her brain on her imaginary canvas. And these are the sordid images I told you, sordid, that is not pleasant. You can better understand the life and the routine of a whore, of a prostitute. But to some extent here, Eliot wants to show that this prostitute, this low woman of the society, has much better understanding of this world, of this place, and to some extent she understands herself, whereas those hypocrites, those so-called intellectual high-class hypocrites, somehow they do not understand themselves. Neither they understand themselves nor do they understand this world. The thousand sordid images of which your soul was constituted. So what is actually the soul, the being of this? What is she made of? What is actually her existence? Her existence is nothing but sordid images, unpleasant images. What she has, what is she made of? Harsh reality of the life, mechanical and routine life. How mechanical her life is. She has been leading a kind of a mechanical life with limited scope. To some extent she understands that this world, this modern world, this meaningless world, this absurd world, to some extent provides the people of this world limited scope, limited, just somehow minimizes the function or minimizes the action of the people of the world, does not give much room for the people to perform or to act. So they flickered against the ceiling, and when all the world came back here, when the sun rays or the sunlight starts entering the room, this prostitute is lying, or this prostitute is in. All of a sudden she realizes that the morning has come. It is morning, the night is over. See, and when all the world came back and all the light crept up between the windows with the slits that allow the light to enter, and you heard the sparrows in the gutters, and see, no, no, you can say that no cuckoo bird, no nightingale, no skylark, but sparrows, birds of urban life, birds of city, in the gutters, not in the gardens, not in the orchard. These sparrows are in the gutters, gutters, that water, that passage, the passage or the drain of the dirty water called gutter. So these birds, the twittering or the chirping of these birds actually come from the gutter, not from the garden. See how Eliot is actually trying to let us know that how dirty, how different London was in comparison with London in the 19th century. How messy and dirty it had become. How life of the people in general had become different. How life was different when they were in their countrysides, in their villages. Life was so different. They heard the nightingale and the skylarks and so many other sweet singing birds. They heard them, they heard their voice, their sweet sound coming from the garden, coming from the trees and the orchard. But here they see how differently, in a different manner, the 20th century poetry or the literature represents things, represents or portrays or paints the just life of the people in the metropolis. See, sparrows in the gutters. You had such a vision of the street as the street hardly understands. So he says that when this prostitute just realizes that the night is over, the morning has come, the day has started. All right. She realizes that she better understand this world. See, what's it? You had such a vision of the street, means she has such a understanding of the world, of the street, that the street hardly has that kind of understanding. A street, here you can say that your street is used as the metaphor for the hypocrite, people of the society, or hypocrite people of that so-called elite society of London. They had no understanding of their own. Neither they understood themselves, nor did they understand the world. But this prostitute, a low woman, has much better understanding. So that's why he said, you had such a vision of the street as the street hardly understands. So he says that you saw a dream, and in that dream you had a better understanding of this street. And your understanding of this street is far better than the understanding of this street. Means how here he has personified the street. So he says that you better understand the street in comparison with the street. He means to say that the street does not understand herself in a much better manner the way you understand. Means you understand the street in a much better manner. Then the understanding of the street. So your understanding of the street is much better in comparison with the understanding of the street, he says. Means this low woman has a better understanding of her existence. Why? Because this prostitute does not want the what? Does not want the mask to cover her identity, to hide her real identity, real face. Why? Because she is a low woman. So she does not assume masquerades. She does not want masquerades. She does not want guises. She does not want rat skin. She does not want a scarecrow just get up to hide her identity. And it's all because of that. To some extent, she better understand this world and better understand that this world gives limited scope and limited place and limited, just you can say, limited place, you can say that, or limited role to the people of this world to perform. And on the basis of that, she has a better understanding of this world and better understanding of herself. Whereas those so-called hypocrites neither understand themselves nor do they have any understanding of the world. Sitting along the bed's edge where you curl the papers from your hair. So now this whore is sitting up. Now she allows her body, she allows herself to rise, and now she sits up, and you curl the paper from your hair, and she curled the papers from her hair. Maybe this woman just had used some paper particularly to give a certain shape to her hair, and now she is removing, or maybe again she is trying to use that paper. Or claps the yellow soles of feet, and she is trying to hold the yellow color feet, yellow color soles of her feet. See, yellow color is the color of brightness. See William Wordsworth, yellow color daffodils. But here yellow color has, to some extent, this yellow color has been used in a different context, showing the sordidness, ugliness of this world, showing the alienation, showing the mechanical kind of living, that routine life. See how all alone this whore is sitting with nobody at her side. How her night was different, with some young or middle-aged man at her side. But how here she is all alone, sitting and reflecting upon the world, thinking, pondering over the world, and after pondering over, maybe she has a better understanding of this world in comparison with the people, with the other, those so-called just intellectual people of the world. You see this. So either this woman is curled the papers from her hair, or clasped means held. The yellow soles of held means caught or clutched in the palms of both soiled hands. See, soiled hands, the hands of This women are not clean, neat and clean, but with the help of her soiled means dirty hands, either she is busy curling up her hair, giving a certain shape to her hair, or holding her yellow color soles of feet. So see here in this very particular just in this third prelude, Eliot for the first time shows a complete human figure, and this complete human figure is figure of a whore, as according to certain number of critics. And through this, here Eliot wants to show that, again wants to give a straight way, you can say, commentary of the routine life, of the meaninglessness of the human life in the first decade of the 20th century, just before the World War One. How life was different, how how the industrialization and urbanization had distorted the world, and how people had become so so different, their mindset absolutely different, and it was all because of the loss of their faith in religion. Somehow had religion was somehow losing its hold, losing its value, and how low people, low women like whore and prostitute, to some extent had better understanding. Why? Because they they were not there to hide their real identity, just as those so-called elite were doing. So hope, dear learners, you may have a better understanding of this third prelude. If some of the lines are still ununderstandable for you, do let me know.